Welcome back to another meeting for Outranking. And this is our second weekly meeting, and it's so nice to see familiar faces. Thank you for all of you for your support. Inder was number one to join the meeting, and I just finished talking to him. So thank you all for your support. We'll see how many people join. We had more than 70 people register, and they keep registering every single minute. Looks like exciting. I'll be honest, I told Pankil, everyone wants to hear about the updates and everything that is happening. And by the way, here's Serkan as well. Serkan, do you want to say hi to everyone? Serkan is our third co-founder. Hi. So I was telling Pankil, people want to know what are some updates on our side, and he's like, you know what? No, I don't know. We're probably it's gonna be a few more hours, maybe one more day. I'm like, so right now, Pankil, you're on the spot. People are here, and not to only just hear one-on-one about Outranking, but also what it is that we're up to. I don't know how you want to structure this, but everyone's so excited. So let's kick it off.
Yeah, so I'm equally excited to share the new features, but I'm not going to do all the reveal today. I'm going to save some really surprising and some really crazy new features that we have added for later today. But I will share all the other things that we have been building. So there's tons of improvement on the platform, and I'd love to share it with everybody. Alrighty, sounds good. I'll start sharing my screen in just a second. There we go. Share the screen. This is just one slide. I'm not going to bore you guys with tons and tons of slides. So just to be on the radar and to make sure that we cover everything, what we will do in this webinar is we'll do a quick demo for new people who have questions and concerns and want to see where the product is going. We'll do a quick demo for them. Second, we'll talk about the lifetime deal. Third, we'll look at some new features, a very quick peek at it. And then last, we will answer any questions that anyone has. Okay. All right. So I'll get started quickly with the demo of it. And I'm sure a majority of you guys have already been using the product and doing some incredible things with it. So a quick thing, how do you create an SEO content? Click on new document and enter a search query and select a location. Select the status of your draft. You can just leave it as is. You can tag it. If you're working on multiple projects, you can tag it. And you can create SEO document. So I'm going to pick one that we already have right now. And then if someone has a suggestion and wants to do a quick walkthrough of that particular keyword, we can do that at the end. So let's just quickly click on edit here. And we see that there's already content here. Let's remove it. Okay, all right. So a quick overview. This gives you all the statistics related to what the competition is doing in terms of word count, readability, sentences, sections, metadata, exact searches, links, images, and some settings related to rewriting feature. So some exciting enhancements coming in the new release too, which we will not reveal right now. The second one is content format. You can pick a pillar page to rank for a very broad keyword. Not a long tail keyword. If you're targeting a long tail keyword, you can leave this regular. Also depends on your domain authority and how in-depth content you need to write to really rank for that keyword. So keep that in mind. You can also add custom pages and PDFs to get content from and use that in your research. And you can add multiple pages as well. Lots of people asked us if we can provide a feature to let you hide some statistics from SERP. So what we did was we added a new feature which lets you hide, well, not really hide, but recalculate the data points and give you information on score based on those data points. So if you think this is not one of the pages that you want to use for your research, you can just click on it and it will hide any statistics related to this from being included in how we calculate the score. So you can have a better accuracy in terms of data cleanup. So what we've done for some quick thing, data enhancement that we have done for the next release is that we're excluding some domains, which are very strictly e-commerce based or have just comment driven or directory websites automatically from some of these listings. And you can obviously unhide them as you want. Okay. All right. So let's get to creating the content. Here is a way quickly to create the meta title. You can click on see title ideas. You can see the ideas that you want to create content around. You can obviously create your own idea. You can rewrite this using AI. and you can personalize it, copy it into the editor and create your own meta title. So for the sake of this demo, let's just go really quickly and create a meta description. So a lot of people have also said that this meta description, URL, and meta title tags are missing from the content. So here's how you can quickly add them if they're missing. And it's most likely because you deleted the content and you saved the file, and those information which were there before is now gone. So you can click on title and it will add a meta title here. Similarly, you can add description, URL by just clicking here. Okay, so let's add a meta title that we just rewrote. You can go back here, you can refresh the score and see, okay, great. It's already doing everything that we needed to do. Then you can go and see if you want to optimize some of the keywords. Wow, okay, all right. So you're also targeting lots of keyword with this particular title, super optimized. Then you can go on and create meta description similarly, H1 tag, and optimize your H1 tag. Then you create sections. And so again, back to the research where you hide certain pages, this data will change based on your preferences. So you know exactly what sort of sections you need to target for this particular content. You can see all the sections from here, and you can curate your outlines by dragging and dropping them, clicking right into them, rewriting them. And you can also see some structured data over here. For more granularity, you can go to SERP sections from SERP, and you can see all the titles, the exact hierarchy of all titles from all pages that rank in Google. And some people have said, like, why are we not hiding this data with the hide in research? So since this data is showing, this data is not affecting your score in any way, it's not really a bother to anyone to have this content here. You can always find ideas from it. And if you think that this is a link that you just wanted to ignore, just skip it. And you can copy them, all of it, and just kind of build your outline. Then you can also see some highest frequency keywords. And we are bringing some major enhancements over here as well in the next product, but that is still going to be hidden. You can sort some of this highest frequency keyword data by what people have used in their content. So you can select them. You can just select one, and it will automatically readjust based on that data. Okay, so all right, that's sections. Some questions. So this has tons of questions from Google with search volume. So it is showing the volume here as well. You can rewrite them and use them in your content. This also shows all the questions from content from SERP pages that are already ranking. So that you can see, like, this is incredible amount of data just with volume. So once we're done with volume, you will start seeing some content, some questions from ranking pages in Google. So like I said, like, it's 260 questions. You cannot beat this kind of data. It would be super easy for you guys to build out FAQ pages and build out content itself, or even use them in your outline. URL, similarly, you can use the suggestions to create your URL, keep it readable and don't go over the board. Then related keywords data, this is showing all the related keywords associated with this particular keyword that we are targeting. And there's tons and tons of volume. So sometimes what happens is, like, you are targeting a keyword that really has no other related keyword data associated with it. So let's say if you're targeting how to record a podcast on Zoom, but there's only like 3 or 4 related keywords associated with it. In those cases, Outranking goes and tries to find additional ideas surrounding that topic and give those relevant keywords as well in forms of ideas within this. So sometimes you could feel overwhelmed that, oh, there's so much data here, and I'm not covering them. Don't worry about it. Worry about the score and what the instructions we are giving you. If you're following those instructions and you're paying attention to your score, don't worry that your keyword usage is either needs improvement or great or really or good enough. So don't really focus on over optimizing your content. What we give right from the back does include sufficient amount of information for you to create that killer piece. So if you are really a power user and you know how you want to use related keyword data, only then we suggest you go to add keywords and add manual keywords. So if you add, let's say you want to create a power page and you want to add certain peripheral keywords. So let's say I'm targeting SEO content to rank 4. I could also be targeting content writer with it. In those cases, you can enter that keyword and bring additional information. But just make the best guess based on the search volume that you have. If the keyword that you're targeting already has sufficient amount of search volume, don't go and over optimize it. You will get tons and tons of related information already in it. And if you add those keywords additionally, then your keyword scoring will decrease, but it will not affect your actual score. So actual score depends on what's absolutely essential and what will actually gain traction for your content. So follow those guidelines. And if you really want to use this feature, make sure that you have that there's a little bit of learning curve. So use a couple of keywords and see how this functionality works and how it adjusts to your content before pulling in hundreds and hundreds of keywords and then having to figure out which keywords to use.
Ankil, really quick, there's a question here from Alex saying this third column here on the right, 0.02. What is that?
That's our keyword difficulty out of 1.
Awesome, thank you.
A lot of people had asked us to put those keyword difficulties in. So we added those keyword difficulty numbers in here. So now you can see like, okay, how to record yourself on Zoom, very little keyword difficulty. You probably want to create content around that. Okay, all right. So let's go to research. Okay, so I quickly covered this already, but there's some very clever features. So you can click on this and you can see the entire page content right here. You could also, let's say if you have a certain content, certain words in your content right here, and you just select 2 to 3 keywords, it will go and search those keywords and give you where they are mentioned. And you can scroll through them and use those ideas in your content. Then there's topic coverage. We decided to change the title of topic coverage. A lot of people were getting it confused with topics, and what we had mentioned was content depth, which it is. This defines the depth of your content, but it also defines the amount of topics that you've covered. So we decided to change the name so it's more easier for people to understand. And there's also some minor enhancements coming here in the later releases. Okay, all right. So this covers how you create content. Last time I went through an entire piece and created a proper outline. And again, I can circle back here and answer any questions that people have. Natalie, I assume that there are many questions.
When we share access with the team, will they have access to all the information that is available to the admin? Do you plan to have roles like admin, editor, manager?
Okay, I'll get back to that in a sneak peek about what enhancements we're bringing in for the upcoming launch. And that will answer majority of that questions. But yes, the team members can have access to any functionality in here, and you should be able to give them view or edit rights based on documents. So I'll cover that later on. Okay. All right. So this covers the broad view of how you use outranking, and you can also jump to. So I'm not going to show you on how to jump to SERP analysis from here, but let's go back and you can also click SERP analysis from here, and you can view this. So some people have asked us like, okay, so I have very few documents. I only have 4 documents created, but my account shows 6. So it's likely that you went and you did some searches on questions and you did some searches on SERP analysis. Those are counted as well. And we don't want to clutter your dashboard with tons of searches that you are doing. So that is why you are seeing some of those reductions. So every time we have to pull out net new content, it takes 1 credit away. Net new content means either a new keyword or a different location for the same keyword or a different language for the same keyword. Those are the 3 combinations that are considered to be net new, because we are bringing in new content from new sources and compiling it for you. So that's one of the questions that I wanted to answer. You can also go to questions. So if you go to questions here, it will go and pull out all the questions. So some people have also asked, like, why does it take so much time for the questions tab to load? So this is going and gathering data from 50 pages. So when we went into SERP editor, you saw that there were 260 questions. Here, there will be more likely 450, because it will go to all 50 pages, get the data, it will get the keyword data, it will get people also asked data, and collaborate all of those into this one form. Okay, so it's going to take a few seconds. Okay, there we go. So there are some questions that come from content, and they will keep coming. Every few minutes, they will keep adding if there is any. So there we go, 91. So yeah, so it just keeps going until it finds all the questions and gives it to you guys. So, okay, so it also added some related keyword data here. It's although very fewer volume. So a lot of people, okay, so there is an error here that we found and someone noticed it. Thank you for reporting it. This is fixed in the next version of the 2 question marks that we see here. And it's happening precisely with the related keyword data. And some data were also not super relevant, we noticed. And it was because it was trying to gather data from ideas. So we also fixed that small bug for the upcoming release. Okay, all right. So this covers the basic overview of the entire platform. And I can answer any questions you guys have around how to use the platform as is right now. And if you are facing any challenges or you have any questions, I could answer them specifically related to what's live out there.
200 SERP analysis on the Pro lifetime deal. Can you stack or pay more to upgrade to the lifetime deal?
You can do what? I'm sorry, I did not understand that
200 question. SERP analysis on Pro plan, lifetime deal. Can you stack or pay more?
So you will be able to stack that on top of our monthly plans once we go out of our lifetime deal. So whatever you have purchased in lifetime deal, let's say you have 200 credits, you will get those plus any add-on deals that you do for subscription basis. Yes.
Dewey is asking, is that ranked according to most often asked questions?
Right. So let me go back to the questions and I can answer that. So what it will do is it's prioritizing, okay? And it is prioritizing based on the user experience as well as relevancy. So we think the most important thing that you probably want to see first for gathering ideas is related to questions related to related keywords. So we are trying to give you that first. Second is content, and it comes straight from content. So it's not prioritized in any way, this particular piece. And then the last section that you see is PowBox. So expanded list of people also ask questions from Google, and it takes a little time to gather this intel and pull it out and give it to you guys. So that is why it's placed in the end. So you can still start seeing the data while the other data is populating. Right. So there's no preferences. You have to choose and pick which ones you want to include in your content. It is going to give you a map of or a list of all the keywords all the list of questions that you can include, but you have to pick and choose which ones you want.
Pankil, Ronald is asking, where do you take this data?
So, okay, all right. So we have built our own library to extract. People also ask boxes, and we manage that internally. For related keyword data, there are certain APIs that we use, and we run some algorithms on it, natural language processing, to figure out what are the questions from those lists and pull those out. And we are running some other natural language algorithms that we have built and tuned internally to extract questions from content itself.
Awesome. Mark is asking, where do you see Outranking going for future software development? Developing more optimization like Surfer or more content planning like Phrase? I think this is coming a little bit later today, right?
Yeah, it's coming a little bit later today. You guys will understand what we are really trying to achieve with Outranking is something beyond that you guys have seen so far. And I mean, the amount of love that people have given the product, it's amazing. And this just helps us move faster and meet those internal dreams that we have, placed for ourselves as well. So yes, that's coming later. With the announcement that we have later, very late today, you will understand like all the new features that we are launching and what is the strategy for the company and what sort of roadmap that we are looking at executing with the platform. So tons of development and tons of enhancements and tons of productivity related features that will get you to that first draft faster and faster and faster.
Pankil, give us date and time. When can people see?
So we are 99.99% sure that we will give the new release midnight today or really early morning tomorrow. There will be an announcement, there will be videos, and there will be how-tos on how to use some of this new functionality that we're building out. So all of that collateral is also being built because I know everyone will have so many questions after we launch that. And we don't want everyone to get lost and be confused as to how to use those features. So we want to make sure that we provide you proper guidelines on how to use those features and not get lost into the weeds of misusing them.
Pankil, another question from Marco. To confirm, related keywords has no impact on score. To get one of the related keywords to turn green, do you need to use the phrase in your content?
Okay, all right. So yeah, so let's answer some of those questions that people have around that as well. So let's go ahead and edit. All right. So in related keyword data, right now, what it's measuring is that if you are using this keyword in your H1, H2, H3, or bold tags only. Okay, so that is what we are trying to measure and trying to make sure that you include this important keywords in those. But there were many people who were requesting it that we want to also see if somebody is using this keyword into their content. So yes, there is an enhancement for that coming up. The reason why we score related keyword a little differently is because it's relative, right? It's relative to how Google is going to see and what other people have included in their content. So related keyword scoring is based on coverage gathered from those ranking pages, so you don't go overboard. If you want to go a little bit further than that, then you can. So that is why we have the statistics here. If you go here and you scroll down, it shows you exact searches. So for this particular page, is 92 is the maximum mentions of all of those keywords. So you can see how optimized this content people have made. So in this case, if you would get 100% if you were using all the maximum keywords, exact searches. But let's say in related search data, you have 300 keywords. So what Outranking is going to do is only going to judge you based on those 92 that we found that you absolutely need to use. If you want to go a little bit beyond that, sure, you can go ahead, but proceed with caution and make sure that it aligns with the user intent.
Really quick, Sorkin is correcting us about 0.02. He's saying it's not keyword difficulty, it's competitive density.
Sorry, yes, it is competitive density.
Awesome. We have a question from Ian. He's asking, will there be another lifetime deal after this one?
If there will be, it will not be as sweet as this one.
Thank you. Alex is asking, will the rephrase tool switch to GPT-3? Also, any plans on doing similar to Phrase's new auto-generated FAQ?
All right, so auto-generated FAQ, guys, you can auto-generate them, but you're still going to have to put an I, and you're going to have to organize them and weed out the ones that are not essential and have to jump back and forth to different screens. So all of those issues are there, right? So sure, we can build that out. But again, what we are really trying to do is help you guys build that first outline and not just give you tools so you can play around with, okay? We really want you to get to building those outlines with as minimal time as possible. So the best way to do this is to actually see what people have done and not generate, out of the box and try and see okay, if this fits my use case or not. Sure, in some cases, questions will fit right into your use case. So I do see that it can be helpful in certain cases, but not super helpful in creating content. This leaves you into the weeds of doing more research, figuring out what's wrong with it, and then coming up with your best course of action. So so if we build something around those things, it will be more daring to create that powerful content and brief and outlines and getting to that first step faster and not just throwing out around ideas. So I wanted to elaborate on that GPT-3 comment. Okay. So will rephrase tool switch to GPT-3? Even better. We'll have multiple tools to allow you to do many things. So that's just, I give away one of the biggest hints. But yes, so we will not only be bound by GPT-3 because there is GPT-3 today, there was GPT-2 yesterday, and tomorrow it's going to be something else. So we want to make sure that we create a library for you guys to be able to decide what you really want to use and use them the way you want to, and not just, sort of give you a few things and hope that it works for you.
Awesome. Ed is asking, can the editor also optimize an existing content import from a URL?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to delete this content right now, and let's go to research. Okay, let's go to the podcast. Okay, so I can pick any. So let's pick this content, copy the link, action. Sorry, this is share functionality, import, and you can import an existing content. Sure, some elements there can be some discrepancy because it's scraping the data, and you can also copy and paste the content directly in here. So you can actually see, okay, so this is your data from that page. And so some people have also asked us that why is the score 73 while this is 77? And it really depends. So we're trying to match so many characteristics with the data, and there can be sometimes slight discrepancy in what we scrape and what you actually have in the content after you edited it and you made sure that it's readable and all of that. So there's a slight discrepancy. It won't be major, and it will not break or make anything for you guys. So you can, absolutely come here and you can optimize your content.
Awesome. Next up is Dewey. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. First, I love this software. We love that you love it. But by the way, if you don't like it, speak up as well, because that's what, that's why we know what can be improved, right? And was able to create a great SEO optimized article in little time. My question concerns strategy. I want to rank high for keyword A, but very few people search for that keyword. So I need to focus on ranking for keywords that are user intent, keywords B and C. Would you recommend using B and C in H1 tags and keyword in H2 tags?
All right. So very good question. So what I would suggest is that, this is still guess game. When you say that I want to use a keyword B and keyword C, and where should I use it, it can be totally objective to what keyword you are trying to rank for, what sort of relevancy it has to the user intent, and all of that. So like, if you have a specific keyword, I could probably give you advice on where you want to use it. But because people have this kind of questions, and we did too when we were trying to create content, and we were getting lost as well into what to use and how to use, and which way to use in the content, that is why we build out instruction. And that is where we are giving you precise information on what keywords you can include for some of those content. And if your keyword A has lower, I want to rank high for keyword A, but very few people search for the keyword. Hey, don't worry about very few people searching for it. If it is relevant, it's going to bring you business. It's going to bring people to a point where they can evaluate your service or your product and potentially convert. 10 is a gold mine against 200, which does not convert at all. So you have to really see your objective and not be after generating traffic unless and until, that's what your aim was, to generate traffic for your website. That's it. I would say focus on keywords that bring you real value in terms of business. And for B and C, so this is self-explanatory, okay? So let's say, for example, podcasting. This is a very broad keyword, okay? If you're trying to rank for the podcasting keyword and you hover over it, it almost has 300,000 search volume terms, right? But let's go further down, and you see they start narrowing it out, right? So let's say if you were creating for Kit Podcast, for Podcast Kit or Kit Podcast, the same thing. Let's go back, and I would show you that this has very few keywords, right? And how you can still rank for it.
Well, you added, Marco is also asking, not sure quite understand the exact searches. That is average and maximum of what? Is it a specific keyword?
Right. No. So maximum, let's say if maximum was 50, that means there is one page on SERP or many pages on SERP that have used as many as 50 related keywords in their content. And average means this is what average number of search terms that people are using in their content. Okay. All right. So when we go to instructions, and let's see here, so podcast kits. So see, it is bringing you only the keywords that you need to include in it. Now, this IT Kit podcast, podcast starter kit, you see there are some relevant other keywords that you can target that goes along with your this. And this could be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? So when you're creating your title, you can clearly understand from here that this is what your competition is doing, and you can probably do better by including more keywords. Just make sure you're not super optimizing it and making it unreadable. That's all. So the tool can give you directions into what your B, C, D keywords need to be, and where do they need to go, and how you need to use them.
Awesome. Last question from Malvio. Could you talk a bit about the readability section when I click on SEO score, please? All my articles are shown as 5th grade, but not sure if this is 5 out of 5.
Okay. So 5th grade is minimum that it's going to show when you have no content. Once you start building out the content, it is going to show you the 5th grade, and target readability scored based on your target audience, And if your readability score is less than your audience, it will give you a red box here.
By that time, I want to make some descriptions about some things. I see some people are asking about using related keywords in their content. So I can say that when you write an article and target some organic traffic, you may have a focus keywords and then some related keywords, and you will target both of them. If you want to gain more organic traffic, you should target a set of keywords, not just only one focus keywords. So when you have a focus keyword and your related keywords also have more volume than your focus keyword, yes, you will have to definitely use those related keywords in your article, in a section, in a paragraph. But the most important thing, they should have some relevancy. So making those related keywords according to their relevancy, you can put in your content all of them with a different paragraphs. This will help you to get more organic traffic.
Awesome. Thank you, Serkan.
Okay.
So Inder is asking, I'd like to push the article to platform like StoryChief and push the piece to my WordPress and other platforms.
Right. So yeah, so this is an integration strategy that we have, and we're currently building out integrations for WordPress and Google Docs. So you should be able to push content back and forth from any of these platforms and go about doing your work. So in your immediate roadmap, it is WordPress and Google. And we're also exploring some other platforms to integrate with.
Alex is asking, on the lifetime deal offer and also subscription options on the pricing page, the stats presented are 200 SERP analysis or 50,000 characters. Is this per account or per team member?
So it is per team, it is shared. So I will show some features on how you can restrict what other people can do.
Nice. Ed is asking, please show the integration to WordPress.
This is on the roadmap. Integration to WordPress is on the roadmap. It is not part of our next release, which is happening in a few hours, but it is going to be part of the release after this one. So we're looking at approximately 2 weeks of sprint cycle. And that's how we perform and release new changes. We're trying to push every week, but this takes tons and tons of testing and understanding if you're transferring the characters in the right format and HTML in the right format. So yes, you're looking at 2 weeks from our today's launch, approximately.
Awesome. So that's why everyone, we're so glad that you are sometimes patient with us. So like if something doesn't work, like you report it in the group or you send a direct message, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for doing this. As you can see, we're doing and releasing things as fast as possible for you. So when you find, when you see something, say something. We appreciate your reporting some problems.
Absolutely. And I think Inder has one more question, right?
Asking, would we have also access to stats related to the keywords in focus in the near future?
So what kind of stats? Right now we have keyword density and volume shown. Is there any other stats that you're looking for?
We can bring you here, like if you are dressed and all, ready.
So yes, having all of those stats, guys, having CPC values. And so this is not a keyword research tool, okay? For keyword research tools, I think you can spend very less money and get that data. This is really powerful stuff. It is doing tons of other things that a keyword research tool is never going to be able to do. And sure, we can bring all those data in, but it's not going to be useful when you are writing stuff, when you're creating, when you're optimizing stuff, when we already know that these are the keywords that are important to your content and we are suggesting it to you. If you go off that radar and try and focus certain things, which we are not suggesting, and your score doesn't improve, it will really not help your content. So I agree. I mean, we can bring some data in. It will clutter your research and give you tons of other unnecessary stuff to get distracted by.
Awesome. We have Inder here joined. So Inder, any follow-up questions?
Let's say I'm talking about the growth of e-commerce, and it's a research article that I'm writing. I'm part of a consulting company. I need references from other people who've written articles around how e-commerce has grown, what kind of statistics they've shared, etc., etc. So I've seen some tools wherein, based on the keywords that you're writing about, they will give you references that these and these entities have done research, and these are statistics that you can use in your articles. So I'm not sure if it's already there or if it's part of the roadmap.
Got it. Okay. So a part of it that is already there, and a part will be under development. So what we do is we get all the structured list data, unordered list, ordered list, and all of those nitty-gritty informations and other tags information here. And most likely you will find, like, if there's statistical data, you will find it in tables. There's none here, so you will not. If there's ordered list and unordered list, so it picks out some of these things right now. But I agree, like statistical related data, you want to capture those sentences which mention some statistics around a particular topic and gather them, right? That's a very great suggestion. And I think it would be very added value to our platform. So I'll put that in the roadmap.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next up, SK is asking about your starter's lifetime deal, but want to upgrade to the professional. How can he do it?
So he has bought a
starter's plan, lifetime deal, and now he wants a professional lifetime deal instead.
All right, just drop in your email and I will show you exact steps on how to get there. Just drop in your email here so I know exactly what your account is.
Vikram was asking, do you have plans to have projects folder systems so that we can keep the data for different sites separate? And Serkan jumped in and answered the question. If you're interested, check it out. We have answered all the questions so far. And then Addie was asking, let's see, regarding data sources, how recent are they?
So the data sources, well, there could be a lag of up to 30 days, I believe, from the API providers. And once that data is in our system, it refreshes every month. So every time you go and pull the data out after a month, it would collect the new data then. So it will save everything up till then. Only a few things that we don't save, and we get constantly every time you make a call. And some of those data include keyword related data and volume related data because we cannot store them. And so some of those things are calculated, like every time you make a search, it gets new data. But there can be a lag in some of these vendors that provide data. So sometimes you might see a little discrepancy, but it's not going to really define how you rank well. So sure, yeah.
Awesome. Marco is asking, does using the HFW keywords in your screen right now change your score or move your sections bar more green? If so, how do you get credit for adding the word? I've added as header and paragraph and no change.
Okay. All right. Let me show you. So when you look at instructions, look at these things. This is what's gonna have you score higher. Okay. And the last thing that's gonna have you score higher is your topic coverage. So when you're using meta title, the way I've seen people use meta titles in two ways. Okay, so high frequency keywords in two ways. You can use these keywords to build out your sentence, and which I saw what Inder and his team was doing is using these keywords to build out a title. Okay, but you can also do something like this. So there is no scoring for using HWF keywords because we are already considering that in instructions here. This is what we have decided that is going to be absolutely essential for your title. So you can use other things if you want to, but having this too in the content will give you score for HWF fully. And there are other statistics that you have to match before you get that full score. But this is how you use HWF keywords. So let's go back here. You see that 18 pages out of 20 are using podcast in their meta title. 17 are using kit. 6 are using best, and 6 are using starter. Okay, so you don't need to go and see all the things. It really depends. But if you include podcast, kit, best starter, so let's say best podcast, best starter, podcast kit could be your title. And then, so let's just go ahead and build something here.
You know what? We don't have enough time, Pankil. I think we're only like there are a few more questions, if that's okay with you. Ian is asking the lifetime deal access to new features. Is that for all new feature releases forever and ever and ever?
So with very minor restrictions, we want to give you everything that you can. Only the thing that is probably going to cost us more money to give you that information going further, we'll probably release those out as an add-on. But I can't think of any features that you would be missing out that can improve your productivity or get your work done faster or any of those things. So limits you could consider in terms of characters, maybe going in future. If we build out some crazy enterprise feature that scrapes, 10,000 pages, that cannot be included. But any feature related to this editor that we are giving will be included. To all the features that we currently have will all be included. All the optimizations and enhancements to the platform and this utilities and these features are all included. Only the new data points that we pay for, that we bring in, will probably be not included. We don't have anything in the pipeline that will not be included for right now. At least everything is going to be included. And trust us, guys. You're not going to be cheated, and that's not going to happen.
I know a lot of people actually message me and they ask, like, are you going out of business sometime soon? Like, what's your, what are your plans? And I'm like, guys, we're not planning to. Everything was like very stable. We're not going to cheat you. I know that you've been cheated multiple times and multiple companies are being bought out, and you are being screwed or in some or another matter. That's not our plans are. We're, like, as you can see here, we're very open. We want to be friends with you. Everything that you report, we want to kind of do as much as possible for you. So we're here long term, okay? SK, I got your email. Thank you so much. Marco is asking, so still about HFW, I specifically meant for sections. Does using the HFW tab on sections increase our score?
Yes, it does. So, okay, it does to a certain point. Okay, so we don't want you to go crazy on it. So that is why there are some percentages which we target in terms of verified section keywords coverage. So if it really depends on the topic that you're targeting and what your SERP pages are ranking and what they are using in it. But based on the logic that we have built, using anywhere between 50 to an 80% would give you a full score. So this is a lots of high frequency keywords from 20 pages, and some pages might not even be relevant to the focus keywords. They could be a little sidetracked. So it's based on that. So after that 80%, if you keep using more keywords, nothing's going to happen. The score is not going to go up.
Awesome. Dewey, thank you so much. He's saying that I recommended the software to one of the Facebook groups I'm in, and several jumped onto this offer. This is a great opportunity. Dewey, thank you so much. We appreciate all of your feedback. And also, if you are able to, there are multiple groups where people ask for, like, are you using, this software or that ware, or what software would you recommend? We obviously really, really appreciate you sharing anything about the tool. So thank you so much for doing this. We're early stage startup, right? We are a bit against big competitors with big budgets. We're getting lots and lots of investment. Obviously, we're not taking investments, or we're bootstrapping. So again, your support is appreciated. So thank you so much for all of that. Pankil, looks like you wanted to say something, but also I think we only have a few minutes left. I want to be cautious of everyone's time. You also promised to talk about the preview for what's to come.
Right. I'll just get right into it. So quick preview, guys. So I'll talk about the first feature that everybody has been asking for. And I'm not going to go to the editor, because editor is going to have crazy amount of new stuff that is going to blow everybody's heads off. So I'm leaving that as a surprise, but we'll cover everything before that. We've added support for 13 languages. And that means that you will get related keyword data, NLP, rewriting, working in all of these languages as well, which is very difficult to do. Okay. Then we've also added a way for you to get title. And the best way to do this right now is, let's say, if you add hello, it will go ahead and add the title. So you don't have to put focus on it right now, but then you can obviously go and change it so you can have a better workflow management. There is also some other things. So let's go back. And this is running on my local machine. So it's going to take some time. Okay, there we go. All right. So we have added, let's go to the settings and to the features, to the team. I know a lot of you guys are managing teams and we're having difficulty in doing a proper workflow management here. So what we've done is we've added a functionality where you can go and assign someone or in your team number of documents that they can create per month, or number of characters that they can rewrite per month, or use characters usage they can do per month. So based on that, you can save. That's one feature that we've added. Also, you can go back to your main feature page, and you have a way of assigning a document to a team member or multiple team members. And you can give them view and edit rights as well. And you can save. And once you do that, it will show up in their shared with me box, and they can see those documents as well. You can also revoke those rights whenever you want, and restrict those people going further. If you give them edit rights, they will be able to share that document further with, let's say, the company that they are working with, or someone from subject matter experts from that company that they are working with to create that content and get that back and forth inputs. So we've built that out as well in editor. So I am not going to show the editor because that is, we've done some very phenomenal things over there. But I will quickly show you some very quick highlights. We'll talk about very few highlights. For example, your related keyword data is going to have mapping in content as well. It will still not be scored, but it will have mapping in your content. So you'll be able to understand which keywords have been used within your paragraphs, not just your titles, your headings, and your all important tags. That's one of the features. There's also some enhancements to sections where we will allow you to filter out the outlines based on highest frequency keywords. So if you wanted to see what's relevant, what's related to Mike only, you can filter out all of those headlines, and you'll be able to see, like, okay, all right, these are all the ones that are related to headlines. That's one enhancement here. There's tons of improvements to UX, so many bug fixes, and a few major features in the editor. And I don't want to disclose that right now. I wanted that to be a surprise. It will get you to create content faster. Sure, it's going to be released in beta because it's a very fresh topic. and a very fresh way of understanding and processing natural language. So we're launching this in beta, and immediately after the launch of the beta of this particular new feature, we will be making another release next week, midway next week, enhancing those beta versions to cater to some more data sets. So so that's all I'm going to share over there. But there's many enhancements on the editor that you guys should be looking out for.
And this is going to be tonight, correct?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So everyone is going to get email notification about the feature, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So if you are a trial in the product, you are going to get the notification about everything that Pankil is talking about. Yeah. All righty. Replay link is going to be emailed. Yes, the link is going to be emailed. Awesome. That's pretty much it, huh?
Sounds good.
All righty. We're going to do another one next week, same place, same time. Go ahead and register if you'd like. Otherwise, you are going to get a calendar invitation for this one, for the next one as well. Thank you so much for all of your support. We are super excited and super pumped.
One last quick note. So guys, come next week for the session. We are going to show you how to use the new tools and new features that we have built into the platform and how to use them to write, rewrite, or create content.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And your support is highly appreciated. If someone is asking for this tool and you know that the Outranking is going to help them, please share it with them. We appreciate it a lot. If anyone wants to join our affiliate program, by the way, I know someone mentioned, I think Alex or someone, Dewey mentioned about the affiliate program. We do have an affiliate program. So if you're interested, go ahead and check it out, or just email Pankil at outranking.io.
Sounds good.
That's it. Thank you so much, everyone. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.